the fear as a non-Muslim is that what is there to stop the Ram Undang-Undang to be extended to non-Muslims? Then what you said, it is only applicable for Muslim. Well, look at Brunei. Look at Aceh. It has been extended to non-Muslim. Look at Kelantan for a fact that on Friday, all the shops are to be closed because of respect for the Muslim. And that also applies to shops of non-Muslims. This is the fear we have. Look at the situation in our country, the conversion. The situation of the Sharia court, where unilateral conversion happened. I convert my child into Islam, and the spouse of a non-Muslim have no recourse. I cannot go to the civil court because they say you go to the Sharia court. I cannot go to the Sharia court because I'm not a Muslim. So there is a fear as far as the non-Muslims are concerned. Today you will say, look, it's only applicable for Muslim. What is that stopping the act, which is only limited to Kelantan, to be extended to other states as well, where the rights of non-Muslim are also affected? Don't talk to me about Article 4, that non-Muslim has a right to practice religion freely. That is theory. Practical, ask the rest of us. We will know. We can't use our term, how we go to address our gods. That is limited. Look at our church. You ask us to open our church in a factory. Look at the land. It is gazetted as a factory lot. So where is the freedom? So the fear is there, the prejudice is there. That act would not be limited to only Muslim. That is the fear. The act as it stands, fair, I agree with you. It does not affect me. But is there assurance?
You are actually representing the views of the majority of non-Muslim regarding this issue. Actually, those are the issues. Okay, first thing is that you say that this is a fear, this is a perception, and this is prejudice. So you have concluded that this is actually fear, perception, and prejudice, which probably have basis and have no basis. So now I can say to you that they have no basis at all in law, as far as law is concerned, right? That is my conclusion. That I will elaborate on that. First, you say that the 4 crimes that we have mentioned actually is not in the amendment of Section 2 of this Act. Actually, this Act this Act about the jurisdiction of the Sharia court.
To enhance it.
Right? The jurisdiction, to enhance the jurisdiction of the Sharia court. Tetapi kita tak boleh nak jalankan undang-undang until the state enact the law. In Malaysia, only 2 states have the law, Kelantan and Terengganu. Other states have no law regarding this yet. They have, but the law as it is now, until and unless, if this proposed amendment is passed by the Parliament through the parliamentary process, and it may be and it may not be. It needs simple majority in the Parliament. Probably it passes, probably fails, and we can accept that because we can accept democracy in the parliamentary process. We just go through the parliamentary process and we can accept whatever the result will be first. And if it is, for example, if it is passed by the Parliament and assented by the Royal, for example, the state that can only enforce the law is Kelantan and Terengganu. Half of it only. The other half cannot still. And the rest of the state cannot until the state itself enact the law. And it is up to the state consultative, Dewan Undangan Negeri to make a law or just to remain the law as it is. So, just to answer your question, if you pass this law, the 4 crimes cannot be enforced yet until the state have the law first. And second thing is that fear of non-Muslim. You have mentioned about the Friday prayer and the Friday cases and cases regarding conversion and as well. Those are civil cases. We are talking about criminal cases, crimes. Those are civil cases. These are criminal cases. And these criminal cases have been granted by the Constitution, as I mentioned to you. Item number 4 of the Federal List, List 1, Shell 29, clearly say that crimes, criminal law is within the jurisdiction of the federal. And second thing is that it is in the state list, list number 2 of 9 schedule, the Sharia court would only have jurisdiction over the person professing the religion of Islam. That's it. That is according to law. That is why I said to you that your perception, your fear, has no basis as far as law is concerned. It is just perception and it's just fear because of misunderstanding or because of you have never been exposed to it before. So okay, the last question, what is the guarantee? The guarantee is that you can go to court. You can go to court, you can challenge it. If in any case, non-Muslim has been prosecuted by in the Sharia court because of these cases. You can always go to the court. And of course, you will win because it has been guaranteed by the court. Civil court. Civil court, because any challenge with regard to law will go to civil court. And this is law. You will try. You can try. That is why I say to you that as far as law is concerned, that is the answer. Okay? So in any case, if a non-Muslim is accused of having committed any kind of those that have been mentioned, then you can always bring the case to the court, and by virtue of Article 74 of the Constitution, you will win because it has been guaranteed by the Constitution. And I should correct you, it is not Article 4, it is Article 3. Article 4 regarding the supremacy of the Constitution, not regarding the Islam as a religion of federation. Thank you.